Christina? I said that right! It's a miracle. Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with the TBR. So if you have been following me for at least 2 months, if you followed me since April, you will have known that I participated in the OWL or OWL Readathon that Book Roast did, which was so much fun, by the way. She has decided to do like a step 2 of this, so she's doing the NEWT Readathon in the month of August. And if you are a Harry Potter fan, you know that in your 6th year you would take the OWL examinations, and then the next year you would take your NEWT examinations. So it's like a part 2 to the readathon, and I'm so excited about it. I'll leave the link below or on the screen or something to her announcement video where she talks about all of the challenges, because there's like 36 challenges in this. It's insane, but it'll make sense in a hot second. So if I don't make sense, go watch hers, because she'll probably do it 10 times better than I'm going to describe it. It's kind of confusing, which makes sense because it is like step 2 was supposed to be harder than the first one. And it certainly is. In the OWLs, you had 12 challenges, so each class equaled 1 challenge. In the NEWT, each class has 3 separate challenges. You can only do the classes that you completed in your OWLs, and those are the only ones you can do this month. Within each class, like I said, there are 3, and it's kind of like a ladder system, so you can't do the second challenge until you complete the first challenge, or it won't count. So you have like challenge 1, and you can do challenge 1, but you can't do challenge 2 until challenge 1 is done, and then challenge 3, same thing, you can't do challenge 3 until 1 and 2 are done. To complete or like pass the challenge, you basically have to read a total of 4 books. You get 3 challenges are like the first level, and then 1 class you have to get to the next level. So for me, I can read a total of 12 books because I only completed 4 challenges. Just like last time, I picked one for all of these. So let's just get right on into the challenges. So the first class that I'm going to be talking about is the Muggle Studies class, and the first challenge within that class is something written by one of your favorite authors. And so I decided to go with Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli because I've had it on my shelf for a while and I've been dying to get to it, and I just haven't yet. I love her so much, and I'm so excited to finally get around to reading this book. The second challenge is to read a biography, and I don't have a lot of biographies. I think this one will work, so I'm gonna go with it, and it is Pastrix by N.E.W.T. N.E.W.T is a pastor out in Colorado, and she started the, oh my goodness, what's it called? She started kind of like a mission church is what she's calling it. It's called House for All Sinners and Saints, and basically she is the opposite of what most people think pastors are, and she knows that and she owns that. And it's just, I met her in person. She did a talk near my college one time, and she talks like she writes, and I love it. I've read another book by her and I loved it, but this one's about like her life, whereas the other one is just kind of like a bunch of stories of people that she has met. And so I'm really excited to finally get down to this one. I've had it for a while, but this is my biography and I'm very excited to finally get to it. The third and final challenge for Muggle Studies is to read a retelling, which I have my fair share of, and it's I had the hardest time trying to find something to fit this challenge because I wanted to read so many things. But I saw this book, and it's kind of like a part 2, not really, of one that I read the first readathon, and I felt it just made sense to do it. And that is Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters by Jane Austen and Ben H. Winters. Now this is not the same author who wrote Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. It is a different one, but it is in the same kind of vein as that one. So I listened to that one on Audible, and I'm going to listen to this one on Audible because I need a couple of audiobooks. It is a retelling of Sense and Sensibility, so I thought, you know what, why not, let's give it a try. And I'm really excited because it looks so ridiculous. I'm hoping it's going to be just as ridiculous as the other one. It's from the same publishers as the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, but it's again a different author, so I'm really excited to give this one a go. So the next class is the Potions class, and the first challenge in that is to read a book with a color in the title, and that is The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. She writes about the same people, but she writes, or the same families, but she writes from different people's points of view. And so this one is the daughter of the narrator of the book that I just read. So I'm definitely in this vein, and I'm very excited to get this one started. The second one is to read a book with a male lead character, and this is one I've had on my shelf for so long. And again, I have it on audiobook so I can switch back and forth if I need to, and that is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This cover though, this is one that I've been dying to, eventually open, and so I thought what better way than to use it as my main character lead, or my male character lead. I'm kind of in a love story kick, and I know that this is definitely going to be in that vein. This one's supposed to be really good. I know a lot of people love it, and I'm really excited to dive into it. The third challenge is to read a book that is over 350 pages, and I have two options for this one. Depends on how much time I have, because again, it's the third in this one, so it'll probably be one that I don't get around till the end, and so it'll just kind of depend on how much time I have. The first option is Jemina, the second in the Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and the second option is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Now, I'm going to drop these. Now, if you remember back, this was supposed to be my science fiction read for April. The next challenge is the Astronomy Challenge, and that is just pick a science fiction book. So I picked Jemina. Still haven't read it. It's fine. I'm about 140 pages in it, but it's like 700 pages long, so there's still over 350 pages left in the book, and that's what I'm counting on. I'm hoping that I can get around to this one. This is the one I'm hoping to get around to first, because again, I've started it and it's been partially started for like 3 to 4 months. It's insane. But depending on how much time I have left, if I don't have a whole lot of time, then I might go with Carry On. But depending on how I'm feeling, I'm giving myself two options, mostly because I couldn't decide. So these are my two options for that challenge. So the next class is the herbology class, and the first challenge is to read something with that has a green in the cover, and I felt it only appropriate. I have at least a Harry Potter book or something related to Harry Potter in this challenge. So I decided to go with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, aka J.K. Rowling. This is the actual book. It's not the screenplay. It goes through all of the individual characters. So I'm hoping, because it's not even 100 pages, it's like 60 pages, so I should be able to get through this in like an afternoon. But it is literally just a straight green cover, so I went with this one for that challenge. The second challenge is to read a book with illustrations, and so I thought it was only time to finally get myself a graphic novel up in this TBR. So I decided to go with Saga Volume 1. I've had this on my shelf months, and I haven't read it. So this is definitely the one I'm going to use for illustrations, because it is the graphic novel I have owned for the longest, and it is about dang time I finally read it. The third challenge is to read a book with light, air, sun, or water in the title. Spent about 2 weeks after I had picked everything else deciding on what book I wanted for this one, because it took me so long. I don't own any books that have light, sun, air, and water in the title. Why? It seems like such a simple thing, but I do not. But I happened upon this book in the Target one day and thought, this is interesting. I like it. Let's go for it. And it is The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. It's kind of like a cute little love story. Basically, it sounds like a book of missed opportunities, and I love that. And I thought, cute. And it has light in the title, so I went for it. If you notice that my shelves are getting smaller and things are coming off, it's because I'm using them for the challenges, and I need them off my shelves, and they're just piling over here. My fourth and final class that I'm taking is Care of Magical Creatures, and the first challenge in that is to use a book with an animal on the cover. I don't have a lot of animals on the covers, but I think this will work because it's not an animal, it's more of a creature. But that is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. It has what looks like an octopus on the cover. I don't actually know if this is a mythical creature on here, or if it's actually supposed to be an octopus. We shall find out. Either way, it's living. It's a book that I've been dying to read, and it has animal parts on the cover, I will say. So that is what I'm choosing for this. The next challenge is to read a book that is under 160 pages. I have notes. I was prepared this time. I don't know what possessed me to choose this one, and it is not a book. It is a collection of poetry, which I haven't read in so long, but it is called Yesterday I Was the Moon by Noor Unar. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know how to pronounce this. I apologize if that is not right. It says, this book contains poetry about art, heart, people, home, you, courage, self-love, strength, culture, acceptance, and survival, in no particular order. I loved that. There is just something about it that drew me to it, and so I thought, this is perfect. So it is not a novel, it is a collection of poetry. So this is the one that I decided to go with. And the last challenge of the whole thing, at least for me, is to read a book that includes dragons, whether it's on the cover or in a character. So I went with on the cover. I decided to read Nimona by Noelle Stevenson because I know our main character is a shapeshifter, and on the cover she has dragon wings. Dragon. It's another graphic novel. If it is a very chunky graphic novel compared to most graphic novels. Now, they do come in volumes, so they're much smaller, but this one is just one big chunk. So those are all of the books that I've decided to read. I tried to mix it up a little bit more this month with some added graphic novels, some poetry, some smaller books, and a lot more audiobooks, so I can hopefully get through those quickly. So if you would like to follow along on my reading journey, I've decided to start an Instagram. If you think I'm going to start doing kind of like updates along the way on my story, I just find them so entertaining. I love following along with people. I think it might be fun. So if you would like to follow along and let me know how your reading journey is, if you are doing this readathon as well, go on over there and let me know. I'll definitely be updating it. That's also a good place to get updates from me, that and my Twitter. Hopefully I will not be away so long like I was last time, but those are great places to connect with me if you would like to do so. There they are. If you guys are doing the NEWT readathon, let me know what you guys are reading and what you guys are most excited about in the next month, the book that you were looking forward to reading the most. Let me know that down in the comments. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you're not already part of this awesome, growing, wonderful family that we have going on here. I think that's about it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.